We should talk about it.
Really? You think we should talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
You want to talk about it on the internet?
I really want to talk about it on the internet.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, we're finally talking about it.
We are talking about it.
So all the talk that we've talked in the past about talking about it, we're actually talking about it. So for now, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Connor, what the fuck is this?
So, hey guys, I'm Connor. If you're already here, you probably know this.
Hey, I'm Kylen.
And, the origin story.
Yeah, so let's talk about the origin of Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
We're gonna get so fucking annoyed with this. So, not too long ago, one of our really, really dear friends from college got married, which was, a big fucking deal.
Oh, that was so much fun. We had such a lovely time.
And it was like, honestly, one of the first times that we all got together outside of, college.
Yes, yes.
It was after we graduated.
Yes, that was the first event after we graduated that we all kind of got back together.
Y'all fled to New England. I fled.
We did.
I fled to not quite the desert, but
Central Texas.
Central Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just all went back to around Shreveport, Bossier, Louisiana.
Yeah, so close to our original stomping grounds.
Close there.
But yeah, no, quite a lovely time. Beautiful, lovely wedding.
But all together in I want to say Holiday Inn.
Oh, I think it was a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
It might even have been a Holiday Inn Express.
I don't know. It was a pretty big Holiday Inn. Not sponsored by Holiday Inn, unless y'all really want to.
It could have been a Marriott.
It might have been.
So
at Holiday Inn, at Marriott. Which one of y'all want to be sponsored?
The Holiday Marriott Inn.
It actually might have been both.
Oh, I think there were two hotels that were quite in close proximity.
But at this strange twin hotel in Shreveport, Bossier, in that area, after a lot of alcohol was consumed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know how much you guys were doing, but I was at the bachelorette party of sorts, and we had so many bottles of wine, and afterwards, one of the other bridesmaids was like, "Hey, I bought this wine. It's really gross. It's called butter. And by God, if that wine didn't fucking taste like butter, Paula Deen would have been all over that shit."
Hey y'all, I'm gonna teach y'all how to make some butter wine.
She'd probably bathe in that shit. Scrubbing that wine under her folds. Anywho, so I brought back this really gross butter wine to Connor's room, where he and Ethan had been drinking.
We've been drinking a lot of really shitty beer that I got, and was sharing with the guys.
Do you remember the brand?
I think it was a variety pack of Blue Moon, actually.
Oh, nice, nice.
But the summery Blue Moon, not the coffee Blue Moons.
Summery?
So
in October?
So yeah, they had mango wheat and
okay,
some I think it was white grape stuff at Blue Moon. Number one, please sponsor us.
Let's sponsor that.
Let's sponsor that. Let's sponsor about that. If any of y'all know what that is, comment. I guess this isn't live, so
True.
We don't know what we're doing. But you came to my place.
Yes. With butter wine.
With butter wine.
In tow.
In tow. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't y'all have a champagne fountain?
Oh, no. Okay, so we did.
That was at the rehearsal?
Yes, it was at the rehearsal dinner that was in, not Copeland's. It was might have been a Papa Do's or something like that.
Ralph and Cacoo's?
That's what it was, Ralph and Cacoo's. Okay.
I didn't know if Ralph and Cacoo's was a chain or not. I know there's one in Baton Rouge.
I didn't know either. I know there's one in Lufkin. So, yeah, anyway, Ralph and Cacoo's. I went to a rehearsal dinner. There was a champagne fountain. I had 4 glasses of champagne.
I was jealous.
I was already pretty fucked up by the time I got to this bachelorette party. And then I came with wine to Connor's room. So Ethan was there, but Ethan, I believe, was passed out by the time I got there.
It's a recurring theme, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very relevant to tonight, but we can talk about that in a minute.
I don't know how sensitive this mic is going to be. The gain is like all the way down. Trigger warning for retching, I guess. Maybe, possibly.
You know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll edit it out.
Yeah, we'll edit that out in post.
We can actually do that because this isn't live.
Yeah, this isn't live. Thank God. All right, so yes. Wine. Ethan was passed out. What happens next?
I was drinking the butter wine.
I was also drinking the butter wine.
And it was disgusting.
Quite
it was
gross.
actually really bad.
But that did not stop us.
And we got into some pretty, like, deep convos.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. Like, I don't even know if we'd had that deep of conversations up until that point. Even though we've been friends for quite a long time.
Right. Well, see, a lot has also was going on because this was like the first time that we were reconnecting after leaving college.
Right, yeah.
I was figuring out some stuff about myself. I'm sure everyone else was. Like you and Ethan had been living up here alone for a while.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was living alone, doing stuff.
So, yeah, we were in some pretty deep shit, but we were so drunk. Well, I mean, I guess I can speak for myself. I was so drunk that,
drunk.
that I was like, I started doing parkour around the room. Like, you know, in hotels, there's like a bed, there's like a desk, there's like a dresser, you know, there's all sorts of furniture and shit. There were some chairs. So I would just like do a cartwheel, jump around, land on something, get in a weird pose, and say, let's talk about it. And God, did I not do this like 50 times?
So, I was obviously really happy with everything that was going on because I was also not so much parkouring, but like maybe somersaulting and rolling around at the speed of sound. Also, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Because like, yeah, every time I came up on a deep conversation, I would be like, hey, let's talk about that.
Yes, exactly. So we were so drunk and so giddy, and we were like kecking ourselves over this meme, and so I think ever since that we joked, we're like, oh, we're gonna do a podcast, we're gonna do something.
Well, see, we had already been talking about like couch people at that point. I hadn't started like streaming yet.
Oh yeah, no, not yet.
That's not entirely true.
Oh.
I did do like 3 streams before that. One Overwatch stream and like 2 streams of Pokemon Uranium.
Oh, okay.
That like I just did on my channel, but I like never archived them, never did anything.
Okay.
Because like this was just me like trying to figure out what I was doing.
Establishing the brand
during my fall semester of my senior year of college, where I had a lot of free time on my hand, and then I was just like, you know what? Let me throw all that away.
Oh God, I miss those days.
Well, yeah, I also wasn't doing all the stuff that you and Ethan were doing. I was doing vastly other things. But like, I hadn't started streaming yet, but we had been talking about couch people, where one of us would, I think it was at Ginger Benji, because at Ginger Benji was so, Ginger Benji, he had some really awesomely edited videos on his YouTube.
Yeah, he was really big into YouTube before we even met him.
And I was just like, if I wasn't going on the track that I was in my career, I would really love to do content development.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to I was like, hey, we could probably be really awesome at this if we all did it together. If once y'all have y'all's degrees and I'm settled where I am, and Ginger Benji's all done and out, we can all come together in one city or another.
Yeah.
Buy out an abandoned frat house and just make all the content that we wanted to do. And one of the shows that we could do is a podcast called Let's Talk About It.
Yes. So we, you know how alcohol kind of
gives you the best decisions, obviously.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying it necessarily creates the best ideas, but whenever you have an idea, it makes you more motivated to want to pursue that idea.
Right.
And it's been almost a year since that wedding and since that time, and since that we had continued to joke about it, and
then
distance was a problem. We were together for Gen Con a month ago, and we talked about.
Well, we had said. Well, I had said.
Okay.
Let me hold myself accountable to this. I had said that we would record a legitimate Let's Talk About It, but our hotels are very far away from each other.
Yeah, we did not coordinate at all for Gen Con.
No.
Just because I assumed you weren't going, and that by the time we had booked a hotel, you were like, "Oh, I'm going." But anyways. Yeah, and plus we were going hard at it till 3 in the morning every morning.
Yeah, so I was tired and couldn't really set up everything. Just, making excuses as I do. But my channel is still pretty small right now, but I did hit affiliate not too long ago.
Yay!
So I feel like we're doing something. The Silent Band was streaming for a bit. Y'all come on my channel a lot.
Yeah, we've done 2 Overwatch crossovers together.
Silent Band's done 3.
Oh, he's done 3. Okay, yeah. So he's done 3. I've done 2. Which those are always fun. Those are a shit show.
I love doing them so much. Whenever I finish a lore stream, whenever I finish a lore series, it's always bittersweet because they're usually games that I love and I love talking about.
Right, yeah.
But then I'm just wait. I'm free for a little bit. We can do some we can talk about it while playing Overwatch.
And it's funny because you set up a poll and all right, here's some options, other things, and then Overwatch, and then Overwatch always gets voted on, and then you're like, hey, are you an Ethan free? And then we'll go, and then we'll talk about Overwatch a little bit, and then we'll just talk about whatever. And so those are always quite fun, and none of us are good at the games, so
right. So y'all were not around for the last one.
No,
because number one, I hadn't reached out to y'all earlier.
Oh, I was in class
you
anyway.
Were in class,
yeah.
Silent Band was doing something, and it was a very last minute decision for me to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that was decided, I was talking to my and our beloved person who does all of my channel assets, except for this thing that I made in PowerPoint right before this, because this is the production value that I'm going for.
Hell yeah.
We were talking about my latest.
You didn't even say his name.
Oh, it's Osqueef.
Hell yeah, Osqueef.
I didn't know if you wanted to remain in anonymity or not, but.
Oh no! Of course, we need to shout him out. He did a fantastic job on your channel assets.
He did a really great job with all of my assets.
Yes.
Yeah, but we were talking about putting things in the merch store and stuff, and other businessy, quote unquote businessy sort of things. And so I only got 45. No, I didn't. I did an hour. And actually went into Talks Machina a little bit because I wanted to stop before Talks Machina.
Yeah.
Because obviously you and I are big fans of that show.
Yes, quite.
but I cannot hold a conversation by myself while playing Overwatch and engage with the chat and keep it interesting. I realize that.
Really? I only caught the last 15 minutes of your stream, yeah, because I had just come in from class. So, no more solo Overwatch streams?
I don't want to make it a regular thing. I think if I do like random Tuesday streams for a bit, which like I am doing right now,
yeah,
I would want to keep Overwatch out of it and save Overwatch for like with friends sort of thing. I like couch co-op as like a series,
right? Yeah.
And I want to keep that going.
Yeah, Overwatch is much more fun, at least for me anyway, when I'm playing with someone else that I know. Like, if I'm just going and I'm grinding for, like, arcade loot boxes, I'll get on, like, free-for-all, I'll play Reaper, I'll do great. And, you know, I just get my loot boxes and go, but, like, if I actually want to, like, enjoy Overwatch, I need someone else there. But, yeah, all that to say...
we're finally talking about it.
Yes, all of this long ass origin story to say we are finally talking about it together. Me and Connor in the same room. No video camera, so you won't see the parkour aspect of it, but
we will describe it in detail.
Oh, whoa, I just did a triple axel. Should we also explain what we're drinking, just so this makes sense?
Well, yeah. A lot of times on stream, I like to keep it a like regular thing because, like, on my streams, I'm on a couch and I want to welcome people to my couch. But I also like drinking around on couches while we play video games.
Oh, mood.
So I always ask, "Hey, Kylen, what you drinking?"
Excuse me. So I am on the last sip of a Jim Beam Diet Coke mixture. Ethan made this for me before he got too drunk to make anything else.
Wow, call him out.
We'll edit this out in post. Shit.
No, we won't.
We really won't.
I am drinking one of your birthday gifts to me because it was my 23rd birthday not too long ago.
Yes, bitch.
And I don't even know how I'm supposed to read this, but this is Old Smoky Moonshine,
yes.
Tennessee Moonshine.
Yes.
Which I will talk about that in a little bit. But this is Mountain Java Cream Liqueur. Oh
my god, this moonshine is so delicious. Okay, so it's like 30%. I don't even remember. Okay, so it's like it's like almost 20%. Like alcohol by volume. There's like 2 different measurements for alcohol in drinks. Whatever, who cares? So it's a fairly strong drink, stronger than beer, stronger than wine.
Oh, it's really strong.
Yes, not as strong as some of on the weaker end of the moonshine. Moonshine scale.
Yeah, Ethan had a ginger.
Yeah, it's a ginger jasmine one. It's called Tennessee Sang.
And it tasted like pure in alcohol. But with that nice like gin sort of taste.
What wasn't even the worst one they had? They had one that was like 130 proof. That was like a step down below Bacardi 151, which if you guys have ever tasted Bacardi 151, you know it tastes awful. So, yeah, but this one you can drink straight and it tastes like coffee with like creamer in it with just a tiny little kick of alcohol at the end. Mm-hmm. But like enough to where you don't need any mixers, which is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
I think that's more dangerous than getting like the higher proof alcohol. It's just getting a mid-tier alcohol that you can drink. Cause
the fact that there's coffee in it does not also help.
Oh yeah. That's true too.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things to make is like one of those like old Disney cocktail posts that went around Facebook, where it's just like Kahlua. The post said vanilla Baileys and salted caramel vodka, but I do, whipped cream, and I do salted caramel Baileys and whipped cream vodka.
Okay.
And then like 3/4 of it is just like coffee. I do Starbucks cold brew. It was called The False King, and it's like themed for Scar, who is like my favorite Disney villain. it will knock you off of your ass, but you'll never fall down.
Yeah.
And this moonshine is definitely reminding me of that. Which, by the way, it still hasn't like fully sank in that I am drinking fucking moonshine. So like I'm Cybrwulf on the internet. Anything with moon in it is gonna like make me feel good and powerful, and I'm definitely a caffeine addict, so the coffee is...
Yeah, and it's caffeine and it's coffee and it's alcohol. Like
so I am powerful right now.
This is you at your highest form.
It is truly me at peak perfection. But I'm drinking fucking moonshine. I thought that moonshine was a fucking like not urban legend, but like hillbilly legend.
Yeah, like it's not like, oh, no one really does moonshine anymore. But fun fact, if you go to like Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which if you're not familiar with those areas, it's basically like the hillbilly Las Vegas in the mountains. That place is weird as shit. Every building is like a fucking attraction of some sort, and this moonshine place was no exception. Definitely a tourist thing, but by God, it was a lot of fun. I went to a moonshine tasting, and that was one of the best $5 I've ever spent.
This is actually not my first experience with moonshine, though.
Oh.
Even though I didn't fully realize that it existed before this.
Okay.
So I am from a very rural area, right?
Yes, you are.
Originally.
Yeah.
I won't say the name of my high school or like this, or I will say that one of my former teachers, actually it might not have even been mine, he was just a teacher at the school. He explained like the physics of like alcohol as like alcohol is like the chemical and stuff.
Yeah.
And how flame reacts with it or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what the lesson was, but he brought up fucking like
oh god.
the like I want to say like 10-gallon glass jars of there was moonshine in it.
Oh,
there was legitimate moonshine
god.
in it. And he like shook it up with his like hand over it and like lit a flame on it so that it could like we could see the like ring of fire like going down and burning like the alcohol that was on the air.
And this is why you don't drink alcohol, kids. It was an elaborate dare.
Let's say that was the lesson.
Oh my god. Can I say something tangentially related to that?
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about it.
You know what? Let's...
Kylen has face planted on a gigantic Snorlax after like doing a really impressive like cartwheel.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So, like I said, only tangentially related. I remember my health class that I took in middle school. This was not a part of the curriculum. I'm gonna preface this with that. So my health teacher was an athletics coach. Just to give you a feel for their teaching style, because, you know, kind of like coaches all kind of teach in the same, like, lackadaisical style.
Right.
So, one day she was like, hey, I left this bottle of Gatorade on my filing cabinet for too long, and look, it's starting to develop mold. Let's keep it here for as long as possible, and let's see what happens.
Oh, no.
And so, like, every day before she started her lesson, she would be like, oh, let's go look at the Gatorade. And my God, it eventually got to the point where she was like, okay, this is gross, and threw it out. But by God, if there wasn't, like, the biggest clump of mold floating in this Gatorade that I had ever seen, you know, it just really set the mood for health class, because health class in middle school is kind of gross, because you're just like, ew, at like everything.
I will not name the subject that this I want to say professor, because I'm like I'm so used to like education only being like in college, because I didn't learn anything in high school. I won't name the class, but you could probably figure it out. Just because like I really don't want this person to get in trouble if he's like still at the school or whatever, which I'm not naming the school either. But there were also like preserve like cow fetuses or like pretty developed like cows in like little jars in the class, like in like a snake skeleton and everything. Going into that class was fucking disgusting.
Oh my god. I have another story to tell.
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's fucking talk about it. Okay, so also on the subject of weird things and coaches as teachers, at my high school, my final science class in my senior year was a forensic science class, which I fucking loved. Just because we did all sorts of weird shit, and then on Fridays, we'd watch either CSI or Bones. And that was how we spent the class period. It was so much fun. But anyway, this... the coach that taught it was kind of a weird person anyway. Like, there was something slightly off about her, but she was, like, super friendly, so it was chill. So one of the, like, kind of class projects in that class was, like, studying decomposition.
Ooh, oh no.
And so, like, she had, like, 3 chickens that she placed... So my high school was kind of built in like an E shape. So there were like 3 different like hallways, and in between each of these hallways, if you were to go on the sidewalk outside, was like this green space, like this, you know, like grass and stuff. So like in one of these like little grassy areas, she had put 3 chicken corpses. And one was just out without any coverings, just like out and about. One was wrapped up in like just a white towel. And the last one was wrapped up in like a black trash bag. And we'd go out there every day, kind of to start class, and like look at the corpses, look how they were decomposing, look at, you know, like. So
did y'all like open the black trash bag?
Yeah, we would open it up and like look at them, which was fucking disgusting, but it was cool, right? So one day, and she taught this course like multiple times a day. So she went with a bunch of different classes. And I took it like in the middle of the day, like shortly after lunch. So we get into class one day, and she's like, guys, because she was a very excitable person. Guys, you're not going to believe what happened. One of the chickens got taken, but there's a trail of feathers, and I think if we follow them, we might be able to find the chicken. So...
Oh, okay, what, so my school, I'm not quite the backwoods, where my school was, because it was in like a city, quote unquote city, but like we were right next to some pretty not dense woods, but like there was a lot of trees and stuff where critters would definitely like attack us probably.
Oh yeah, no. So we were kind of not exactly in the middle of the city. Like, we were kind of, like, off on a road, on the main road. But there was a stretch of forest that separated, like, the school and, like, Walmart. So, we follow a trail of feathers that leads to these woods.
Anything can happen in the woods.
And, oh my god. We go into the woods, and we start looking for the chicken. But then, I don't even remember, someone, like, calls out, and we go over and look, and there's a deer carcass. There's a fucking dead deer with, like, maggots and shit on it, and I was about to say professor, too, but, like, the coach was like, oh my god, this is even better. Oh, shit. So every day from then on, we go and check in the 2 chickens that remained. And then we also go check on this dead deer. And, like, we were always speculating, like, how did this deer get here? And there were a few people who were like, oh no, we took the deer here. We hit it with our truck and we took it out to the woods. But I never quite believed them. So it was a big mystery on how this deer carcass ended up there. But yeah, that's my story. We just looked at carcasses and it was very weird.
Oh, public education.
Oh
it's
my
great.
god. Oh yeah.
That said, going into university, I feel like you and I did you do public education?
Yes,
okay,
of
so
course.
You did go to a public school.
Oh
okay.
god, yes. I went to a very public school.
me too. But like, I don't know if like this is how you feel, but like, whenever we got into university, like you and I met in an honors class.
We did, yeah.
So like obviously we're pretty smart. Like
You know, the way we're talking now may not exactly be the best example, but
it's definitely not.
Guys,
like you're seeing us at our worst. We've also had a lot.
we're pretty smart.
We're some smart cookies.
I'm also out of alcohol.
Oh,
no,
no.
wait, there's like a drop. Maybe I can just
well, you can quickly grab another if you want to, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, start talking. I'll make myself a drink.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, keep going, grabbing stuff. I will keep our lovely listeners, talkers. I guess we'll come up with a pet name later. Like, comment, and subscribe if you come up with a name.
Our talkers.
Our talkers. I feel like, just like with English and math and a lot of stuff, people from it seems like like obviously I'm not dissing either form of education, but it seemed like the people in our particular university, people from public schools seemed a lot more prepared for a lot of classes. Did you feel the same?
I'm trying to think if I remember anyone that went to a private school in honors classes. I know there were some kids that went to a magnet school, but I don't know if that counts as a private school. You know the big magnet school?
Yeah, I do.
Does that count?
I'm not sure.
But
either way, we both got a public education, and we were doing nice things. Like obviously you're still kicking booty in post grad, and I'm not.
I'm trying my best.
And that's all that matters. But yeah, we weren't going anywhere with that. It was more just like, hey, yeah, let's talk about this.
So wait, what was the point of bringing this up? Or were we just bragging on ourselves?
No. So we both have crazy stories from being public educated.
Yes.
Which, but like I didn't want to diss public education, but then I went on a rant where I might have dissed private education, but I wasn't meaning to do that either because I really don't care.
Well, if we're talking about that one magnet school and whether or not it's a private school, apparently there are crazy stories from there too, because I hear a lot of people get into hard drugs at that school. You know?
I mean, there are a lot of crazy stories about public education.
That's true.
Lots of hard drugs. Fucking in the woods on campus, which is kind of statutory rape.
Like fucking in the woods? Oh, God.
Yeah, it was. Anyway.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about this anymore.
Nope, can't talk about that.
But yeah, so you and I, we're changing the subject, because I don't really want to say anything really political on, like, these statements.
Oh, yeah, no, not today.
Not today. We'll say that for, let's talk about it after dark.
Oh, it's already dark.
It's pretty dang dark. It's like... it's 1:17.
It's dark o'clock.
1:17. Special shout out to 100 Gold Skulltulas.
Oh my God, that's true. That's true. That's her number.
That's her number. That's her birthday.
Yes.
So you and I. So I'm up here with you in person for a while. Just flew up yesterday. We've been playing a lot of RPGs over the last couple of days.
Okay. Yeah, so Connor came in Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty late, so we didn't decide to do anything, but we came back and we played
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, so if you guys are familiar with the Betrayal, the House on the Hill, You know, you basically kind of like build a map together with all the other players, acquiring like omens. Omens is the thing, and then like omens trigger haunt rolls, and once you roll at a certain point, the game drastically changes from like this exploration, house building mode into like someone's a traitor and they're trying to kill people, and everyone else is like working against them. Yada yada, etc., etc. So, Betrayal of Baldur's Gate is the D&D version of this. So instead of being like a spooky house, it's like just being in a town.
It's the city of Baldur's Gate from the Forgotten Realms.
Yes, yes.
And I did notice that a lot of the because I'm a filthy person, and I actually did like look at a lot of the traitor stuff because I ended up being the traitor.
Yes, which is so funny because usually whenever I play and you're not playing, I'm the traitor, and then like the opposite is true. Like if I'm not playing, you're the traitor. And so like it was funny because Ethan and I were talking about, and we're like, so who's gonna be the traitor between me and Connor? And it was you. Of course, it wasn't Ethan. It was you.
There's a lot of like Ravenloft stuff in there.
Oh yeah,
there really is.
I mean,
and like we did get one like event card that was like the Myths of Ravenloft, where you see it. And I think you got it, and you had already seen like the worst horrors that the multiverse had to offer with that eye. I think that's like legitimate word for word the flavor text that's on the card.
Yeah, which is weird because you know Ravenloft is like its own separate demi-plane.
Yeah. So originally it was a like original setting. Like around second edition. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Like I've only started playing D&D like 2 years ago.
3, I think, at this point.
3 years ago, I started playing Pathfinder. But like, there's a lot of stuff with like Bale, the god of murder and stuff, who's like Baldur's Gate is named after. I ended up being the traitor.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the reason that I like horror and actually also fantasy is because like those are the two genres where my favorite mythical creature, werewolves, show up.
Awoo's in the chat.
Awoo's in the comments, I guess. I'm going to post this to YouTube because we're recording this with OBS and making a video.
Like Awoo and subscribe.
Like Awoo and subscribe. Please subscribe because I really need enough followers to change my URL.
Oh, yeah.
And I just commissioned like a really nice banner to fit in with YouTube's very strange like, hey, we're gonna cut off all of this, so make sure that your banner is like really fucking specific if you want like words to not be cut off and stuff. I did not become a werewolf in this thing.
No, you did not. What did you become?
It was a very close scenario to that though. So I was marked by Baphomet. And I became a Minotaur.
Yes.
But specifically, like the flavor text was like, I underwent this like horrible, painful transformation.
It's very graphic.
I saw like I started sprouting like black claws out of my hands. My arms my body started becoming like covered in thick fur and stuff. And then 2 giant horns sprouted out of my head. And then I smelled prey and had to kill them. Which everything except for those horns would lead me to think that I was becoming a werewolf.
Oh, did you think that was happening at first?
No, because I knew what the mark of Baphomet meant.
Oh, yeah, because the title was read first. Yeah.
Yeah, the title was read first, and I know enough lore from Baphomet.
Lore, registered trademark.
Let me get enough money to register that trademark. Yeah, I knew enough where I figured like I would become either a Minotaur or like a Horn Devil, or well, not a Horn Devil because Baphomet's a demon and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. This is probably the closest we can get. I do know that in Betrayal on the House of Hill, there is one werewolf scenario. I've never been able to play it though.
Yeah, so you turned into a Minotaur for Baphomet, and you wanted to kill me and Ethan, and then we were trying to.
I got close to you.
Yeah. We sparred a couple of
but
times.
I never did any damage to you.
Yeah. It was because I picked up that Berserker axe that gave me +2 to my might rolls that really helped me out in that scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the thing about the Betrayal series is like, a lot of the haunts are incredibly imbalanced, either in favor of the traitor or the player characters.
Well, a lot of... Yes, a lot of them are definitely balanced towards like one or the other. But a lot of it also depends on how many adventurers there are.
Yeah. Okay.
If there are only 2 adventurers and 1 traitor, usually it's going to be pretty damn hard for the adventurers to win.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, from a lot of shit rolls on my part. I was critting a lot in the game before that. I don't say critting, there's no like natural 20 or everything, but I was rolling like all 2s.
Yeah, so you were doing really good on like events and
I almost critted on the haunt. I'd roll like, I was given 4 dice. I got 4 times 2.
But the thing is,
7.
you don't want to crit on the haunt, because if you roll a 6 or higher, the haunt begins.
I was kind of okay with the game to finish, or like at least
yeah. We were at a pretty good point. We had really built up the map, and it was kind of taking up most of our little table.
I feel like it was a good time to be the haunt.
So the scenario that we had, I kind of want to say it might have been more in favor to the player characters.
Oh yeah, if there were 6 of y'all, I would not have been able to do anything.
Yeah.
6 or 5 or whatever.
Luckily, there was only 2 of us, and then like you were the one. But I've played more of the regular Betrayal.
Yeah, me too. This is the first time that I was playing Betrayal of Baldur's Gate.
I've been the traitor probably almost every time I've played, and I think I want to say every time or almost every time I've won, because it's been incredibly imbalanced. Like one time I was a tentacle monster with crazy reach that could reach across like multiple rooms to like smack and kill people. So
that's hot.
Hell yeah. I was a hentai monster. So I mean, I really still, despite the balancing issues, I really still enjoy the game. Like, I acknowledge it's not perfect, but I think it's a lot of fun.
I absolutely love that it's not perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Because then, like, you can bitch about the game, and it's great because everyone will join in.
But, I think in the end we all kind of won, because we ended up beating Connor, which we just did a ritual to bring him back to his regular self. He just calmed.
And I got to run around being angry and a bloodthirsty monster without, like, killing my friends and having that guilt weigh upon me after somebody turned me back.
So, it was a really good time.
Yeah.
So that was Friday night when we played that one. Today, so Connor and I are both on a D&D stream on Pro Restarter's channel.
Shout out to Pro Restarter. You can follow him on YouTube at Pro Restarter.
Yeah, Pro Restarter.
I think it's just Pro Starter.
Oh, Pro Starter? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because YouTube pulled some shady shit.
Yeah,
or like the algorithm did.
Yeah. Some
no one knows what's going on YouTube.
But yeah, so yes, or just Pro Restarter on Twitch. So we're in a game, a D&D 5e game called Dragon Knights, DM'd by him, which he's an amazing, wonderful DM.
Oh, he makes me feel so many things.
Oh
which
my God.
I was not expecting, because Pro Restarter I started following Pro Restarter after he
was in a game with you.
Right.
He was a player character with you.
It was me, Jess, who I'm gonna try to remember Jess's Twitter. Help me. Burst of Hope. Burst 0F Hope on Twitter, or at least that's her handle at the time of us recording this.
Right.
who we actually did meet at Gen Con.
Oh yes,
so-
I remember meeting
So
her.
I'm so bad at like recognizing people because like, so
We'd also been drinking. Let's
we'd
be honest.
been drinking, but honestly, this is more just like me being shit at recognizing people. But like we had also not talked after the game.
Yeah.
But it was just Pro Restarter, me.
Dingo was in it too.
Dingo was in this. Dingo's also a player in this game that we're currently in, the one that we played today.
Yes. Dingo is also a part of Dragon Eyes and is our wonderful goblin bard.
Dion Blopsong.
Yes, and we'll miss her dearly next week at the time of recording.
Yeah. Oh no, that's gonna be so sad. And Summer, just a summer job on Twitter of the wonderful Twitch community. I want to call it a community, not just a channel.
Yeah.
Off_the_table. She, Katie, like all the people there, they do such a wonderful job.
Really and truly, yeah.
They had me on for a couple of one-shots, like whenever I was just starting to get into the RPG scene. Yeah, so we played that game today.
Yes.
How do you feel about what's going on in that game?
Oh my god.
'Cause we met both of my parents today. I say met. We didn't meet my dad, or not my dad.
Well,
apparently my biological dad is a silver dragon.
Oh my god.
And
Spoilers.
Spoilers if you didn't know this. But I think Isabel's having some trouble coming. Well, I think she's finally accepted it. I think that she's like, okay, this is what's going on. The person who raised me is probably not my like actual dad, but like he did good. He did good. And was trying to like, I don't know what he was trying to do because like my parents never really got a chance to explain it. My mom still doesn't think that I'm her daughter. But we met my mom, who is like Winter Eladrin elf. Which like whenever I built the character, I was expecting I was thinking Wood Elf because I was like trying to do some like Sword Coast Adventures
Yeah.
stuff with that. But my Disney Princess Warlock has bound the soul of my dead Silver Dragon dad to me, and I now have a Silver Dragon's breath weapon, which is fucking crazy.
Hell yeah, dude.
And this might be a spoiler for you, but
oh, should we say it then?
There's some silver scale armor that I would very much like to get my hands on, or just magically make manifest because you know I'm half dragon.
Yeah,
and that would be really cool. Cool because I'm a silver dragon with ice breath weapon.
Hey. But yeah, no, just once again, shout out to Pro Restarter.
He's so good.
Really great DM. I mean, he already had this world and story built, but he did a fantastic job of incorporating every character's backstory, but in a way that was more significant than people had even designed at first.
In a way to make us all feel shitty. I say feel shitty. We feel a lot of things.
Oh, he really tugs those heartstrings.
He really does. Like, I wasn't expecting my dad to die 3 times during this.
Oh my god. Spoilers. Go watch on YouTube. But yeah, so we played in that game today it was like a 3-4 hour game. We had a dinner break and then we jumped into the beginning of one of our local D&D campaigns, but just
local. He's like 1,000 miles from any of us.
Local in quotation marks with people who we had all met in college.
Ethan and my fraternity brother.
Oh yeah, most everyone is your fraternity brother except for me.
Well,
actually, yes, I think everyone...
No. Shit.
There's
what?
Is there one person?
The other changeling. What was his character's name? Gamble.
Gamble
is not our fraternity brother.
Oh,
he's the brother of
A brother of a fraternity
the
brother.
the biological brother of our fraternity
Okay,
brother.
okay.
My grand big actually.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah, this person should we shout him out?
Who do you want to shout out? Do you want to shout out the DM?
The DM.
Yes, let's shout out the DM.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait.
So Conster.
Yeah.
It's Conster20. Like that's his name on Twitch now. He just underwent a rebrand himself.
Yes.
As did you.
Oh, I did. I just now finally changed my Twitch name to match with my Twitter name, which I had really been debating about because,
anonymity is good.
I didn't expect to get some notoriety on my personal Twitter, but that's the name everyone knows me by now, and so I'm like, you know what? Let's rebrand. Let's do this thing. This whole fandom knows my name by now, so let's run with it. So yes, right. I am now at KyleWithAnN on Twitch and most other major social platforms.
Right. Well, but Concert20, it seems like every couple of months or so, he's coming up with a new campaign.
Oh my god,
where he completely overhauls 5th edition D&D, and he's so creative about it.
He is the most crazy home brewer that not even that that I know in person for sure, but that I see just kind of floating around the internet. He really goes above and beyond, and I think that takes a lot. I know I definitely would not be I could come up with an idea, but to apply the mechanics in a way that is at least semi-balanced is beyond me.
Absolutely, but he is always coming up with some crazy thing that he wants to twist 5th edition D&D into.
He's really pushing the game beyond what it was designed for.
Which a lot of people who are probably who have their fingers in a lot of pies, who try out a whole bunch of
all these pies.
Let me touch all these pies. I hate that expression, but I also love it. They would probably try something else, maybe the cipher system or Numenera. Or
Numenera is a cipher system.
Yeah. Or maybe they would try out Star Wars or something.
Yeah.
But 5th edition, it's pretty malleable.
Mm-hmm.
You can homebrew a lot of stuff in 5th edition to make it work, and props to this DM for doing it. Props to Conster. He also get to meet some pretty amazing dice that have been giving me lots of luck on Indoor Adventure streams.
So the reason why we're hyping him up over his creativity and his homebrewing is because the D&D campaign we're playing in now has a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk setting. So all the same mechanics from your traditional high fantasy D&D, but in our modern, well, not even modern day, post-modern day, 2086.
It's very The Last of Us with Fallout tech, sort of.
Yeah, and he even homebrewed his own, smartwatch system, I want to say. I feel like smartwatch is giving it too little credit.
Futurama, the iPhone, but EYE.
Oh, I haven't seen that
that's
much
what I've been thinking
Futurama.
of.
I was thinking
I haven't
the
seen
Pip Boy.
Either. I was definitely also thinking the Pip Boy.
Yeah, so basically everyone has a Pip Boy, but apps
in
that you
minds.
have to yeah, and it's definitely connected to our neural network, and there's standard apps, but then you can buy more apps, and some actually have combat significance. Today we had to get rad trackers because zombies deal radiation damage.
Yeah.
Well, not damage, but just radiation, and then
they're regular ghouls,
and then maps and what have you. But then just dumb shit the music apps, and oh my god, he fucking got us today. So we were.
I'm just gonna say we were literally rickrolled.
We were literally fucking rickrolled. There's a music app in this smartwatch Pip Boy. The smartwatch Pip Boy.
Eva.
Yes, Eva is the name of it. And if you get you can like upgrade these apps, and if you get a high enough level, you can do you can play music in other people's Evas. And so we fought an enemy today who literally like rickrolled us for like 30-40 minutes straight.
You had those stats. Like, it was
yeah, because I had to end up playing on my laptop because that was the only way.
Because like we were having issues like getting music to play through Skype. It was not fun. But yeah.
Yeah, and then well, we weren't even battling this person. They still like hacked our things and started playing Never Gonna Give You Up. And then we actually went to fight them, and they started playing Sandstorm by Darude. And we listened to that one for like almost 50 minutes.
Like, it was a really challenging boss fight for like level 2 characters.
It was a difficult boss fight. And plus we had to listen to Sandstorm for almost 15 minutes.
Honestly, I was just letting Aaron Hansen guide me through that.
In what way?
Well, let's shout out the Game Grumps, who are a big inspiration for like me as a creator.
Yeah.
And are definitely like one of the big inspirations for this, and like their G Club podcast, which I really want them to bring back.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed listening to the G Club, but whenever he was playing the Breath of the Wild Master Trials, there's a Game Grumps anime that covers this pretty well, but like he scats, I want to say.
Beatboxes?
No, he doesn't beatbox. He's just like does.
Oh, does he just do the Darude?
Yeah.
Sandstorm?
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen any of the Breath of the Wild playthrough.
No, I haven't.
You're completely blind to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, mostly blind to Breath of the Wild. I will finish it eventually. Disclaimer, but I'm balls deep in Octopath Traveler right now. So.
Well, pretty soon I'm going to have to cover the lore of it.
Of Breath of
the Wild.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? I don't care if I watch you play through it. That's fine. But yeah. So what were we talking about?
So we were talking about Darude Sandstorm because of that boss battle.
Yes. And then Aaron Hansen.
So let's talk about our characters in that game for a bit, because like this is cyberpunk, but like all the D&D 5th edition races and everything, including like the new Eberron, I want to say expansion, the new Eberron setting, which is still like sort of in playtest, but like it's been officially released, but it's like subject to change and stuff.
Semi-officially released.
It's pretty official. But yeah, a version of the Warforged is out, and this is the first time that you've been playing that.
Oh yeah, no, I've always been curious about the Warforged even before they officially announced the official 5e rendition of the Warforged, because I know it's undergone some changes, and I thought the setting would be as good as any to try out the Warforged, and oh my god, let me say, it has been a lot of fun. So I am a Warforged fighter, and I am a Juggernaut Warforged, which is basically the bulkiest of the Warforged, made for very physical combat. And then the Warforged, at least in the 5e rules, can basically, they have armor that they can change. And I have it like jacked up to the highest armor setting, which although it gives me disadvantage on stealth rolls, I have an 18 AC at level 1.
Right. Which is like, it's definitely possible to do that, like with the shield and stuff.
Yeah, but this is without a shield.
Yeah.
So this is fucking crazy. And I wield a pole arm, so I have a 10-foot reach on my weapons instead of a 5-foot reach. So setting this up is I usually play caster classes because I love magic and all that stuff.
Like, you love bards. Specifically.
Oh god, I could write a fucking thesis on how much I love the 5e bard. But anyways, so I've been playing a lot of melee classes these past few times that I've been set up for campaigns, and this was really kind of my first time actually playing a fighter outside of a one-shot scenario.
Right.
And oh my god, I had so much fucking fun. I was up in the thick of it with my 18 AC, not really having to worry about a lot. And even if I had gotten to the point where I was in trouble, I still had second wind to back me up, which I didn't even have to use because my AC was so high. And then the boss was dealing poison damage that I was resistant to because I was a Warforged. And then I was just whacking and smacking people with my polearm, and oh my god, it was so much fun. Like, one of the maps we were on, I actually ended up choking this entire hallway, which I felt so bad, because I took up the entire fucking hallway, so barely anyone could really get an attack past them. But, you know, it made sense for my character. They're a type of character who wants to protect other people, so I basically was just like skewering all of these zombies as they were coming by and absorbing damage whenever I did take damage. And so it's very different from the playstyle that I usually go by, the arcane casters. But oh my god, it's so much fun because you really kind of go into autopilot in like these melee classes. And so you don't really have to think about shit, you just kind of go at it. And there's something kind of freeing about that.
Absolutely.
But
there's really no class in 5th edition that I don't love. Maybe the wizard, just because there are so many.
Oh, really? That's
choices.
a wizard for you?
I've just never played one yet.
I've never played on a one shot.
Okay, so I haven't played a wizard and I haven't played a monk.
I've played every class in official 5e. I haven't played Blood Hunter, but that's not official.
I've played so many Blood Hunters.
Oh, you're a Blood Hunter lover.
Well, mostly I play Blood Hunter Order of the Lycans because on brand.
Very on brand.
Like, actually, my first 5th edition character was Skjor.
Yes, Skjor!
Skjor was he was the first one that I rolled. Like, I was playing Gabriel Alexander von Cologne because I was Peter Marker IV, who was a human fighter in the
Lost Mines of Phandelver.
In that, the starter set game. But like the first 5th edition character that I rolled was Blood Hunter Lycan named Skjor, because I thought that would be a really cool like werewolf character to build, and he still is. I'll bring him back for something. Yeah,
because you know Ethan's kind of not necessarily rebooting campaign, but he's doing a new setting, which I think I'm gonna bring back my bard character as well, Ellie, who I absolutely love.
Ellie and Skjor's adventures like deserve their own like novel series.
Yes, Ellie and Skjor. But oh my god, yes. How did we get on that subject?
We got on that subject because we were talking about the Cyberpunk game. Where I've also been playing a fighter. Like, you and I were both playing fighters.
We were both fighters, but you were aiming for gunslinger from the beginning, where I was aiming for battle master.
And during this first session, we did level up to 3.
Yeah, we did.
We went from 1 to 3 because Monster 20 is definitely the person who likes throwing encounters at us.
Which is
great. Like, I had a lot of fun with that.
I was definitely enjoying, just because I'm definitely like not skilled in anything outside of combat for this character.
Right. With martial characters, I love combat.
Oh, I mean, I love combat anyway in D&D.
But like in a lot of characters,
Do you have skill monkeys?
A lot of characters, I feel like they don't like combat, so I don't like combat.
Oh, yeah. I feel that.
I don't know if what I do is considered like method acting. But I definitely try to like
feel what the character's feeling.
I don't try. It's just like I like following what my characters want. Right. Because like I don't want to be untrue to them.
Of course.
So I was playing a centaur during this game, which this comes with a like little apology because like you opened up with like your character having like some stickers and graffiti on you.
Oh my fucking god. Yes, so yeah, in this setting, this post-apocalyptic setting, my flavor for my Warforged character was like that they had been like defaced with like stickers, graffiti, what have you, and then fucking Connor just...
So I was just like making comments about like all the random stickers that I see in my life.
What is this shitty Salt Life sticker doing?
At Salt Life, don't sponsor us.
Don't sponsor that.
We don't care.
Don't sponsor it.
Let's not talk about that. But eventually, like, you did say that, like, hey, please stop memeing on my character, and I did feel really bad.
No, I said that with a huge laugh behind it.
But, like, I still do feel really bad.
No, I was enjoying it.
I also do feel kind of bad. I think I misgendered Ethan's character.
Yeah, well, as a changeling, like, he was in, like, a form that went by he, but, like, they go by they, so, like...
Right. I mean, I still do feel bad about it, because, like, I want to respect the character and the player.
Yeah,
like,
of course. We ended up switching to they.
Yeah. Which, my first time, like, running the agender character that, like, I played for one of Ethan's one-shots.
Yes, you played Tor, yeah.
Tor Dankhill, sibling Tor Dankhill, cleric
of the
cleric
Forge.
of the...
Yeah.
No, it was a
Forge
life cleric. It was a
life
life cleric.
Oh, okay.
Cleric of Moradin.
Yes.
I brought them back for a one-shot. Well, not a one-shot. It was just like, I just thought that they would be a really cool NPC to have, like, on this skyship where they were going to fight a white dragon.
Oh.
Because, like,
What was this for?
It was just one of my home games that I have with, well, on Twitch, their names are Introverted Entropy and... Is it Camille or Camille does D&D? I'm not sure.
Camille does D&D.
Camille does D&D on Twitter and at Rosinskaja on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I've been running a game with them for a year. It's been, like, offline for about 4 months or so, just because, like, we've all gotten busy. Specifically, I've gotten busy because my channel took off a little bit. Just a little bit. Like, I don't want to, like, oversell what I'm doing here, because, like, I'm just fucking around and talking to people on the internet. People seem to enjoy it, and I enjoy talking to them.
Yeah, we have a fun little community.
But I never said their gender, because we had randomly generated these characters. I didn't know what this character was going to be, like, their race, their class, or anything.
Do we kind of want to talk about the system of how we generated these characters?
I mean, it was Unearthed Arcana, wasn't it?
Well,
it was like we were doing Unearthed Arcana for, like, quick NPC generations.
Oh, really? It came from Unearthed Arcana?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, it was just like a dice rolling system in which, like, oh, this on the dice meant you got, like, this race, this class, this background, whatever. So yeah, so we randomly generated characters in that aspect. I ended up with a high elf fighter, great weapon master, which, you know, not an optimal build, but definitely a lot of fun. But yeah.
But I brought I brought Tor into our home game, and one of the players, because I was using a voice sort of like this, where it wasn't, it is my higher, like, female voice, but it's definitely still me.
Yes.
Who is male doing it, cis male doing it. Which, like, props to this player for, like, catching on to, like, my vocal trends and stuff.
Yeah.
They had assumed that this character's gender was female. And I didn't correct them because it didn't seem, like, natural for me to do that. It didn't seem organic.
Yeah.
And eventually I misgendered this character as female. Which just, I don't know what it really says about me or anything. Just that, like, hey, we should all, like, work better to make sure that we're gendering all of our people correctly.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from on that, because I have 2 agender characters. One on this campaign that we just been talking about, the Cyberpunk one. My Warforged is an agender character, and then I have an Out of the Abyss character that's agender. But like, I have to definitely stop and, like, check myself before I wreck myself, just because my brain, after, like, you know, however many odd years on this earth that I've been alive and used to just he and she pronouns, just make sure that, whoa, hey, they. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely, like, retraining that brain. So, yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that issue.
Yeah, so at least for us, if we misgender somebody, please like just correct us.
Yeah.
I hope we'll get it right.
Yeah. And we won't be those, we won't be overly dramatic cis people, like, you know, like
oh no,
oh,
I'm
fucking,
so sorry.
fucking kill me now where I stand. I am the worst.
I am the worst. Like,
we'll just correct, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
Always willing to learn.
Yeah, I am very sorry for harping on your graffiti and stuff and misgendering Null.
Okay, the graffiti thing was funny though, because I knew that you were like just joking.
But I was playing a centaur fighter. I was going for gunslinger, and like yes, this definitely was a Yi character. Like I specifically like was thinking like Western gunslinger.
Oh my god, we fucking memed on you so hard.
Well,
anytime he like moved anywhere, we were like, no.
And yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, that's really funny. So like I was having the hardest time coming up with a character.
You were the last person to come up with a character.
Well, like originally I was thinking like Kalashtar Monk because like Ethan revisited Changeling Rogue, which like in a very early thing that Conster was running, it was actually Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Yeah.
This is like whenever Ethan and I were first like discovering Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah.
And we had found the Eberron content. He wanted to do Akira, who is like the Persona 5 protagonist, or like one of his names. And I, being the person that I am, want to do a shifter. A shifter barbarian.
Yes.
His name was Asher. And he was not Longtooth, which is like the traditional like half werewolf. Shifters are half lycanthropes, or like descended from lycanthropes.
Yes.
I was sort of like min-maxing, where like as a barbarian I would get like constitution added to my thing. I went a beast-hide shifter because I thought that would be really cool. We did one session of that and then it ended.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
But he had revisited that character concept, and I was like, I don't want to revisit shifter right now because I'm kind of thinking that I might use that character for something more public.
Okay.
That I really don't want to talk about right now.
I can't talk about that. Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about that. So like, I knew that war. So like in Conster's backstory, like the Third World War over like this highly radioactive substance that like sprouted all of these like magics and races and stuff.
Yes.
Went on, and I was thinking like, you know, I kind of want to have been involved in that world, like going on and like Punisher, Marvel the Punisher, sort of like that kind of character. But also I recognize that like a lot of military type people, which if you're active military in like any country or whatever, thank you so much for your service, because I couldn't do what most of y'all are doing.
Here on Let's Talk About It, we support the troops.
Because we could not be troops.
True.
But also, like, for real, thank y'all. I do know that, like, I don't know this because, like, I don't have any, like, statistical evidence and everything, but I do know that, like, in the southern United States, it's a lot more of, I want to say, an honor thing. Honor is sort of like archaic and anachronistic. It seems that way. But it just like seems like a lot more honorable thing.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a big part of Southern culture. Like, if you are in the armed forces,
yeah,
you definitely are elevated to a higher status in a sense.
So I wanted to like sort of revisit one of those voices, one of those character concepts where like it was someone from the southern United States who like went to fight in this war and came back, and now he's looking for work and everything.
Yeah,
like I wanted it to be like not this deep backstory, but like a very complicated person. Like, sure, he's definitely this like I don't want to say brawn over brains, but like definitely a get things done kind of person.
Yeah.
Who like did fight, and now he's back and is just trying to find work where he can use that same set of skills and do stuff. But ended up just being a like, haha, you're half horse, we saw.
True, we memed on you so hard.
And I don't know if I'll be able to like roleplay with that character a lot in this particular campaign, just because like at this particular table I do know it is a lot more like combat skills not so much number crunchy, but like there's a lot more like challenges and mechanics at the table.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, but like I needed something to start this character, because like I literally had nothing before like 2 days ago.
Which is funny because you're usually pretty quick with the characters usually.
Right, it's just I've rolled so many characters for so many different things over the last couple of months. Like I'm
a
pretty
little
much
brain drained.
broke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that today. We played in this game and it was really fun. Like we just got out of this before we started talking about it.
So do you want to take a quick break and then we can talk about what we're gonna do tomorrow?
Absolutely. So we're gonna take a little break. I'm actually gonna press the stop recording button so we stop recording, and maybe I'll put up a little graphic of, I don't know, what should I put up a graphic of without like me breaking so many copyright laws?
A very nice copyright free picture of a flamingo.
Of a flamingo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically a flamingo.
Specifically a flamingo.
All right.
Cool. There might be an emoji for that. Maybe I can use that.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back in like 5 seconds.
Yes.
And we're back.
Are you ready to talk about it?
We should talk about
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Hi. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It.
So, you and I, more so you, we're known for our tweets on Critical Role and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And you're also known for your appearances, or at least your questions appearances on Talks Machina and stuff.
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
So there was an episode of Critical Role this past week, which unfortunately I wasn't able to like fully divert my attention to.
Oh, I fell asleep.
Yeah. But there won't be a Talks Machina this week about it. And I'm kind of upset about that, because there was, so we're talking about the werewolf one shot.
Yes, werewolf one shot.
Because of course we are. Of course I am, specifically.
Awoo's in the chat.
Awoo's in the motherfucking chat, if this is a Twitch premiere. I'm really cold, sorry.
Oh, here, let me hit the...
Yeah. Kylen is hitting the fan real quick. Oh, thank you so much. I am very cold. I've had a lot of moonshine.
You should be warm then.
That is not how that works biologically. But there's no talks this week, which is sort of upsetting because there is a lot of lore that I am very much interested in.
Okay, there's one lore question that I really want to know.
Okay,
and
what's your question?
Preface, spoiler, Critical Role Campaign 1 spoilers, as well as tiny bit this one-shot spoilers. Is this Lawrence the same Lawrence from Critical Role 1.
I'm pretty sure that it's not because...
Oh, I want it to be.
I also really want it to be. Who tweeted that?
I saw at least a couple different people who were like, oh, this could be campaign 1 because it makes sense. It's like Wildmount, not that far away from Deostock.
Yeah, it's pretty close to Deostock.
Book smart, nerdy guy could very much fit the bill of the character. I'm being as vague as possible, but the character from the first campaign. So I really wanted there to be a talks just for the sake of, point of clarification.
Absolutely.
On that.
And obviously, we're not going to be able to answer that. Like, obviously, you're pretty well known in the Talks Machina community.
If there was ever, the next time Travis is on, I would probably consider asking that during After Dark, because After Dark is a lot more loosey-goosey with the type of shit you can ask.
It is, and I do find it a lot easier to ask a question in After Dark, but I also find it a lot harder to come up with one for After Dark.
Yeah, I've never asked one on After Dark. I've only ever asked them on Twitter.
I've asked a couple. Liam Atwood at my handle like After Dark, specifically with like him doing homebrew spells.
Yeah,
That's where Werewolf Mansion came from.
Oh, fucking that used to be my location on Twitter, Werewolf Mansion.
Which, like, I don't know if he was thinking of that. I don't know how long this one shot has been in the making, but at Liam O'Brien, at Voice of Brian, if my handle or any of that magic and stuff made you think of this one shot, which I know that it didn't, but like, hit me up. My sister hugged you at DinCon.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of lore.
I think I might have fallen asleep before the lore.
There are 2 pieces of lore, as it relates to werewolves, that I have been like thirsting for.
Oh yeah, like the
Moonweaver.
The Taming.
The Taming and the Moonweaver. So like, Matt Mercer released the Order of the Lycan as like a separate document from his Bloodhunter class.
Yeah.
We have only seen. Before this, we've only seen 2 Bloodhunter Order of the Lycans. One of them was for the, and we realize this is non-canon from, like, my question at the Gen Con talk.
Yes.
Which I will take credit for, even though there is no videographic proof of me asking this question.
People were there. They saw.
People were there. So, Critical Role did, 2 one-shots. One of them was with Game Over Greggy and the other Kind of Funny people. Mm-hmm. And one of them was with GameSpot, but Laura, Marisha, and Travis were playing the same characters there, where Laura was playing a paladin.
Are you sure she wasn't a cleric?
No, because Jester also made an appearance, and Jester was the cleric. This is like where Jester was conceived.
Yeah, but so if Laura was playing Jester, then Jester would have been cleric, right?
Jester was a cleric, but Marisha was a paladin.
Oh, I thought you said Laura was a paladin.
Oh, I may have. I've had a lot of moonshine.
We've been drinking.
Because we got to talk about it.
We have to have alcohol to talk about it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so
Marisha was playing a paladin, Juliet of Court.
Mm-hmm.
Jester was being played by Laura, and this was like the first time that she was playing this character.
Yes.
And Travis was playing McLaren von Toskopple, who is a human blood hunter, Order the Lycan werewolf with like ice-themed crimson rites.
Connor brand to a T.
It is so much my brand, and
I think even
this.
Does Skjor have ice?
Skjor was. So Skjor's Sir title, whatever, because I didn't give Ayala the same name.
Ayala is Skjor's sister.
Ayala is Skjor's sister. Yes, these are Skyrim references. No, I did not just make them as D&D characters, but I did want to like pay that homage.
Yeah, so shut up.
But yes, Skjor's last name was Frostheart.
Yes.
Because ice is my I want to say ice is my element, because like ice is my aesthetic.
Yeah.
Winter wolves are my favorite D&D character or character monster. I just love how like snow and ice like looks aesthetically.
Yeah.
I like the way that the cold feels most of the time, but like I'm from the south, so like whenever I say snow and cold, I'm thinking of like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, not like negative 10 degrees. I say that while I am in New England with someone who has experienced the New England winter.
Yeah, I experienced my first New England winter last winter, and snow was nice up until a point where you have to actually drive through it and deal with it on like, longer than like a day basis.
Yeah, in the South, if there's snow, none of us get on the road, and we're like, hey,
you quit everything.
Hey, nothing's open. We can just like snuggle and like sip tea and stuff and try to stay warm, because like no one in the South is equipped to deal with this shit.
Oh yeah, but no, in New England they come prepped and ready because it happens so often. It's like, fuck it, we're gonna go to school anyway or go to work anyway. So just it's a pain in the ass after a certain point. Still a little magical, but definitely more pain in the ass.
But backtracking again.
That's the theme of Let's Talk About It. We get sidetracked very easily.
Yeah, most of the time I'll remember where we left off from.
Yeah, true.
So we were talking about the werewolf one shot, specifically the lore about the taming. So the taming did show up in the Order of the Lycan stuff, but like it's never really been mentioned on Critical Role because like the only Order of the Lycan blood hunter that's appeared was Tova.
Yes, Tova.
Yes, Queen. At Ginger Hazing is I love her.
Yes.
I say that, but I don't even recognize her real name.
Noelle?
Noelle Stevenson?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yes. Cool. And Molly Ostertine?
Yes.
They like just got engaged, didn't they?
A few months back in the summer, yeah.
Oh,
congrats.
I'm so happy for that. Congratulations, y'all. Not that y'all will ever see this or hear this.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. We're like toasting our mason jars. Because yes, we're drinking moonshine out of a mason. Well, I'm drinking moonshine out of a mason jar.
I'm drinking whiskey and coke out of a mason jar.
But like there's never been any like real mention of it. Spoilers if you're not caught up on campaign 2 up to like where the first live shows and stuff were. Spoiler. I thought we were going to get a lot more blood hunter lore from a certain player character who Molly. I'm talking about Molly.
Of course you are.
Molly fucking died. And it was so upsetting.
Oh, for sure. I was traumatized.
Well, like this is the first time any of us have had to like say a permanent goodbye to like a character before their time.
Oh my god, I was in fucking denial. I didn't want anything to do with the discourse for like weeks.
That said, props to Taliesin Jaffe who takes this character who like we all loved so much, gives him not a good goodbye per se, because like I think that would have been cheap. Like the shock value was definitely good.
That backstory allows for some death fuckery.
And like, and your question at the Gen Con Talks Machina really opened up the way for like a lot, because like essentially I don't want to like step on your question and stuff and like say it wrong again, but like as part of that conversation, which again you won't be able to see because unfortunately Daspif's camera cut out a little bit during that, and mine's someone who was cosplaying as Yasha, and unfortunately I don't know your name, and Abby the Clerics, like all of our questions got cut out. You were still on camera for like a little bit.
Yeah, you can hear me if you do catch Daspith's a recording of the Talks Machina thing.
Which you can find on Critical Scope.
It cuts from one point and then it cuts into me saying thank you in my high-pitched, nervous voice. But really, honestly, the second half of whenever Liam and Taliesin stepped into the question is honestly definitely more entertaining.
Which was like, oh, Molly was dead, and they're not continuing his story on regular Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing saying that we can't, and I want to use what they said. Yeah. We can't Agent Coulson him.
Oh my god, that was... Ethan still fucking laughs about that to this day.
And the fact that even afterwards, after we left, after Gen Con was dead and gone...
R.I.P. Gen Con?
RIP. Caduceus General reposed Molly. So that...
Did he really? He did decompose the homebrew thing.
Did he?
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was General Repose at first, but then they clarified on Twitter that it was decompose.
Oh.
But decompose does not affect resurrection. Because either Matt or Taliesin posted the description for decompose.
Oh. Yeah. They used a homebrew spell.
Yes.
That's the first time.
It's a homebrew cantrip.
It's a homebrew cantrip. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But that is the first time that a homebrew spell has been, like, really used in the forefront.
Not entirely true. If you want to cut back to campaign 1 in the first few episodes, whenever Tiberius was on, I think he had a homebrew spell or two. An actual, like, spell. But, you know, okay. we try to forget the Tiberius times.
Oh, no. We do, though.
But since then, this is the first resurgence of homebrew spell material. While it's just a cantrip and mostly just flavor, it's still, I think, an important part of Caduceus's.
Okay. Well, that leads me into two different segments, because number one, I want to backtrack again. I thought that we were going to get Blood Hunter lore. We did not. But we finally did in this episode, where like 3 of the Lorelei heirs, kids, or three of the characters, the player characters, were blood hunters who had underwent the taming.
Yes.
2 of them were not.
Yes.
One who became a druid but still had her werewolf form. So like, either this was a homebrew class, or subclass, sort of like the Order of the Fell or Circle of the Fell lycanthrope that Todd Kendrick was tweeting about earlier. Which, no, I don't think it was. I would really love to know, though. And also the Order of the Moon, which was the first time that, like, it's been confirmed that the Exandrian Moonweaver is a patron saint of lycanthropes.
Makes sense.
It does make sense, because, like, the Moonweaver being the stand-in for Sayanine or Sayanine Moonbow, or whatever.
Aren't those two synonymous?
They are.
Okay.
Well, to a point. There's like some lore that isn't really the same across them. Like, I think I'm gonna get this so wrong, but like in original D&D documents, there is a love relationship between either Arathis and someone else, or the Wild Mother and someone else. It might be the Wild Mother and not Tempest. I really don't know, but I know that it's not the same as the relationship between
Sayanine and Coralon have a relationship, don't they?
Sayanine and Coralon had something going on. They fucking. I really don't know.
Sayanine fucks. Coralon fucks.
But I do know in Exandria, Arathis, or the the Lawbearer, and the Wild Mother, who in D&D lore I misname as the Wild Mother, but it's actually like Melora.
Yes.
Yeah. So Arathis and Melora have a relationship, a like legitimate relationship, like they're lovers.
Oh, they fucking?
They doing something.
Oh,
I don't know if like divine things fuck, but
With their divine genitals.
But they're lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like awesome to have a like divine lesbian relationship between like civilization and nature, because like I feel like that is a very delicate balance.
Usually it's such a dichotomy. Like the theme of that dichotomy is present in a lot of like media, like games, movies, books, whatever. But it's very interesting. Like in this setting, it's kind of a love relationship between civilization and nature.
Yeah, with a lot of like coming together and every now and then a lot of conflict, just like any good couple.
a
lot of relationships.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say all of them. I'm not going to say very few of them. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad, but it comes up in a lot of relationships.
For sure.
That conflict helps. In any Exandria that I run, it's probably going to help them grow as divine beings who are beyond my understanding.
True.
But the Moonweaver has been a patron saint of lycanthropes.
Interests.
Which is awesome because, like, up to this point, there really hasn't really been any mention of, like, a divine influence on lycanthropes. We still don't know, at least in Exandria, and maybe not in D&D as a whole, but I haven't, like, really delved into the lore that much in OG D&D stuff.
Yeah.
There's a divine connection to werewolves. We don't know if that's, like, the progenitor of them or whatever, but it's there. We've only seen werewolves a couple of times. Once in Denizens of the Moonbrush, which wasn't a live show. I don't think it was. But it was between a couple of them, or like right after some.
In Critical Role?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There were some werewolves in the Feywild.
Yeah. True. Yes.
Lycanthropes are mentioned a couple of times in the Critical Role campaign guide, or the Chaldore one. Once they sort of mention it in the Parchwood Forest, but like they don't really go into anything. And then once they're using lycanthropic venom to like drug people and stuff, and that's like adventure hook that you can follow. But not a lot of werewolf lore in that. But then there's this entire class where you can like play werewolves that hasn't really been expanded on. But I'm glad that lore has at least been touched, and hopefully the lore they probably won't make another appearance for a while. But that said, Liam's done part 2s to his one shots before. He did it with like the in real life player things.
Oh yeah.
Where Conan O'Brien made an appearance.
Oh my god.
And
Connor, I was richer for having known you. Oh fuck! Oh god!
You're gonna make me feel things. Let's not talk about that.
Nope, can't talk about that.
This one shot was also interesting because this is the first time that we've seen Eberron content.
Really? I might have fallen asleep before.
No, it was really hard to miss, but Laura Bailey, they were all humans. They were all playing humans.
Yes.
Laura Bailey's character. What are we? So Kylen's cold ass foot touched mine underneath this tiny table that we're on.
Sorry.
Laura Bailey's character, who Portia.
Yes, God,
Portia,
queen.
with a T, not like the car. Was playing a human, Mark of Passing from the Eberron content.
Oh, so like dragon mark.
It was a dragon mark.
Oh, I think I fell asleep before that came into play.
So at one point, she does a like short range teleportation in one of the combats, which
hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I zone out for a lot of the combats in Critical Role, or I like
on the longer ones. I
fast forward through them.
I never fast forward. I zone out for sure.
Just because, like, in like anime and stuff, like high combat sequences are usually done quick and fast. It's probably not the best like parallel because like earlier today Ethan was watching Dragon Ball and they were waiting a long time to do something stupid.
Yeah, they're charging out for a whole episode.
But like in D&D, at least for watching like combat, for me as like a viewer, I'm kind of indifferent towards.
No, I get that.
I like the role-playing episodes. I love the filler episodes, the shopping episodes, because like in this past shopping episode, we got so much lore. We got so much backstory.
Fjord? Lior.
But yeah, Ford was doing stuff. Jester.
Oh, we are so full of spoilers. If you do not know,
please be caught up on campaign 2.
You know,
like
we'll
the five of y'all who actually know about this.
All of our Malaysian listeners.
The five of y'all who actually know us and everything. Yes, y'all know us from being sort of adjacent to Critical Role.
We might put some content warnings, maybe.
Jester did something stupid involving a statue of Bahamut.
Oh my god!
Which was really cool because, like, I love whenever they explore like the deities and religion. Mm-hmm. There was some stuff there. There was some Cobalt Soul lore, or at least a training montage that was really cool, and a lot that involved the dodecahedron and
yes, bitch
stuff. But I love those filler episodes. I love whenever there's just party interactions and not a whole lot going on combat wise.
Do you want to know one of my favorite episodes from campaign 1 of Critical Role?
Campaign 1? Okay. What are your top couple of episodes from campaign 1?
I've been drinking too much to think of my top couple, but one of my favorites that has always stood out for me, even amongst the beauty that has come after it, is the cannonball contest.
Oh, that was so good.
I love the cannonball contest because it was so pure. It was so fun. Just
like of course Percy would almost kill himself.
Fucking let me sit up a ball.
Spoilers for campaign 1. Yeah, let me just grab a bunch of sodium and jump into this water. Like, okay.
Oh my god. In fact, most of all of the Scanlan's Magnificent Mansion content is just like so fillery and pure that
it's a mansion party. That's a Ninja Sex Party reference. Sorry.
The chicken shootings.
That is amazing. You can see me in that episode. You can see my in that episode.
Really?
Yeah. At Katrina, Heather, who we met at Gen Con.
Yes.
And I met at an alpha party here. Well, not here in Austin, because I'm in Albany right now.
We'll bleep all of these locations.
Whoops. But I met Katrina in Austin. I name dropped her. Oh no.
Well, you didn't say the name. You just said the I think.
Yeah, but I think it's public knowledge on like High Shelf Gaming. I'll double check this.
Anyways, anywho.
But she pointed out that like, hey, I make an appearance in that episode, or like my handle does.
Really?
Because I RT something. And like, yeah, you can see my handle up in there and like campaign 1 stuff, which is like really cool. Oh my god,
bitch. Now, seriously, I got into Critical Role so late. I mean, I was introduced to it, I think, around the time that episode 60 had come out. 60-something had come out. But it took me so long to catch up that I wasn't able to watch live until episode maybe 94, whenever the Kraken fight was. So almost towards the end of the campaign was able to watch.
Your first live episode was the Kraken fight.
Which was the longest fucking episode until the finale.
It was such a slog.
Oh, you want to talk about a combat-heavy episode.
Oh.
So, yeah, which was a very interesting introduction into the live shows. But, yeah, no, I mean, can I talk about how I was introduced to Critical Role? Because that's a little sad.
Let's talk about it.
Fuck. Alright, let me parkour. Let's.
Alright. So she has flipped over the Snorlax beanbag chair and is continuing to do somersaults down the hallway. She's actually left the building and is crawling back, laughing to this chair because I am a dirty liar.
So, my introduction to Critical Role. Connor had been trying to get me introduced to Critical Role for a while.
Because I had just gotten introduced to like tabletop RPGs when at Camille Does D&D on Twitter ran a Pathfinder game for us. And I was just like, hey, this is really fun. I should like game master this.
Yes.
And then I came back and like game mastered that for a little bit, but then like Dave,
yes.
who you've played a game with
I
because
have.
you showed up for the What the Hell is one shot whenever our like home game.
I would love to play with those people again.
They're so great. I'm so happy. I've been playing with them for like a year and a half, and it's been such a great campaign. But like Dave introduced me to Critical Role.
Yes, he's my Critical Role grandfather.
He is, and shit. Was it? I can't remember who introduced him before. If I say one of them, it's gonna be wrong.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, he was just like, Connor, you need to watch Critical Role, and I'm like, I am a busy. I was a junior in college at this point, where like I really did have a lot of shit to do.
Oh,
and like I really don't have time to spend 400 hours on getting caught up on content.
Fucking mood.
Which like it wasn't 400 hours of this. I actually did get caught up because I binge watch Critical Role whenever I probably shouldn't have.
Fucking mood. I'll talk about that in a minute though.
And I got caught up by the time the Sunken Tomb came around.
Oof. Okay.
Let me tell you, the Sunken Tomb was a great episode to get started on. Because I was just like, whoa, no, these characters are great. None of them are even like close to dying at any point.
What a turning point. No spoilers. Turning point.
Hey, as I'm going in between buildings 5 and 6 in the apartments, because like that was where I was in my life, where I was like walking someone back home.
Yes, bitch, yes.
And I'm like, oh no, something's happening. I'm so sorry, person, who I'm not gonna like name drop.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I need to like, I'm so sorry.
I gotta go.
I've gotta go. Things are happening.
So, should I talk about whenever I was first introduced to Critical Role?
You should, because that was...
okay.
We've gone a couple of tangents down, but like I feel like this one's a better one to go down.
Okay, so Connor had been trying to get me introduced into Critical Role for a while.
Because I was just like, hey, y'all, this is really cool. Like, I think it's like a really cool thing to listen to and fill your free time, which none of us had with.
Yes, and I was already interested in it because I had played D&D before Connor had. I really, because one of my ex-boyfriends had DM'd a game, which I can't even tell you what edition it was, because I don't remember. It was it was a short-lived thing, and my first character was a gnome bard who only knew how to sing Piano Man, and that's where Ellie was birthed from. But anyway, besides the point. So yeah, so I was already interested in it, but I didn't have the time. But then the summer before I graduated, I just gotten back from Europe. I was about to start a job, but it hadn't quite panned out yet. And then my car got stolen.
Your car got stolen?
My fucking car got stolen.
From right on campus.
Oh my god. Yeah, my fucking car got stolen. And then my job wasn't going to start for like a month. So honestly, I was the most depressed I'd ever been in my entire life, and I just wanted to sit in my apartment and do nothing all day because that's all I really could do. And so I was fucking playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Which I still haven't played, but I hear that's great. But continue.
I really enjoyed it. But then at one point I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to start Critical Role. So I started Critical Role. I really enjoyed it. And so I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I was using all my free time in between playing Tokyo Mirage sessions to listen to Critical Role. Then the school year started, which I should have devoted more time to schoolwork and studying. But then I would go to my job on campus and like listen to Critical Role at like 1.5 speed to like speed it up so I could get through the episodes quicker.
Bless at the YouTube speeds.
Really, truly bless. And then I would go home and watch like an episode or two before I would go to bed just so I could get caught up, because really, like, even after. So, happy ending of the story, my car was found.
Your car was found,
and I
finally.
still have that car, the car that got stolen. So, yes, blessings for that. But even afterwards, I was so hooked at that point that, like, and I'm just, you know, I was a low energy person that year anyway, that I would just go home and just watch Critical Role because I really wanted to be caught up, because I really wanted nothing more than to watch it live. And so I would go through like almost 3 episodes a day, which, to give you guys some context, those episodes are at least 3 hours long.
Most of them are around 4. There have been a few 5-hour episodes.
Yeah.
Like your first episode.
Like the Kraken fight. So yeah, and so finally towards the end of my senior year, I was finally able to be caught up on like episode 94, which campaign 1 only goes to 115 episodes. So I really, in retrospect, have not been watching live for that long. But yeah, I finally got caught up, and Critical Role has just been a huge part of my life, as has been D&D. So that's my intro story. That's my intro story
There
into
you
Critical
go,
Role.
your origin story.
Oh Lord, my goodness. Yes.
Both of our origin stories.
Yes,
mine's
true.
a lot less exciting.
Well,
No silver Volkswagens were harmed in the making of this story.
I mean, is mine that exciting?
We were getting close though.
Oh.
One time I tried to, like, in Austin there's not that great of like service roads that lead to small chain restaurants.
Oof, yeah.
I'm not gonna say who this was, but it was very close to like me going to pick someone up whose car got like rear-ended into from this PT areas, but like there was a line to get into it, and someone was about to slam into the back of me. And this may or may not have involved someone who is quintessential to me starting up Critical Role.
Oh, bitch.
You could probably draw some conclusions from this episode, but I feel like I've talked about enough people who have been influential in that, so that's up in the air. And that this won't put anybody at risk. But also, people in Austin can't drive.
Oh, mood.
Including me.
Oh, mood. So,
but yeah.
So, speaking of D&D, what are we doing tomorrow?
What are we doing tomorrow? That's what this whole second break was going to be.
Yes.
But I also really wanted to talk about the Werewolf one-shot because there was no Talks Machina.
Yes, we really got on theme here, just getting backtracked, sidetracked, whatever tracked.
But just talking about it.
We're really talking about it. Oh my god. So Cybrwulf Connor is about to do some parkour. Oh my god, he's doing fucking yoga. He's getting, oh my god, he really is doing yoga. Oh, okay, he fell. He fell. But he did like a crow position, maybe.
I was attempting a side crow, but yes, I did fall because I'm very full of Java moonshine.
But yeah, so Sunday we are actually playing in another D&D campaign.
We are.
So one that we've been going for a while, and one of our other friends is DMing for it. Negative Sigma
on Twitch.
Yes, Negative Sigma on Twitch is doing a campaign in his own homebrew setting, which I gotta give him a lot of credit. He was my introduction for sure into the world of tabletop RPGs. Mm-hmm. Now, we did not play in D&D 5e for a while. He actually got me started on Iron Kingdoms.
Iron Kingdoms, yeah.
Yes.
So I excuse me, I don't have a lot of experience with Iron Kingdoms, but this particular person did give me a wonderful introduction into Iron Kingdoms.
Yes.
Because I told him, like I do in most campaign systems and everything, I want to figure out how I can make a werewolf as quickly as possible.
On brand.
So with Camille does D&D's first Pathfinder session, I had like sort of touched MTV's Teen Wolf, where at some point in the story a druid does make an appearance.
Yeah.
And he's pretty cool. He's not the same kind of druid as like 5th edition or 3.5.
Yeah.
But it was like the closest thing you can get vanilla. Negative Sigma made like homebrew sort of werewolf thing for me. I forget what the race is actually supposed to be or the lore behind that, but like apparently there's like some Jamba juice that like some cultists make people drink and it turns them into like feral monsters and stuff. But like my transformation stopped halfway. But this was my first time playing like a big tank bruiser sort of character. And it was really fun. I was like low intelligence or stuff. But I was playing this like person who could like shift into this giant wolf monster thing, and my name was Moon. You're noticing a distinct laugh of Kylen because she stepped away for a moment, and I've been trying to tell this story on my own for a bit, but I'm not that great at holding my own for a bit. She's back. Hi. So I just mentioned that my name was fucking Moon.
Yes, fucking Moon. The
damn it, Moon.
Fucking damn it, Moon. But yeah, I just want to shout out to Negative Sigma. Super fucking creative homebrewer as well. Well, I mean, he doesn't really homebrew classes per se, but really great at homebrewing settings and his own like one-shots and campaigns.
He homebrewed this race in Iron Kingdoms for me.
Oh,
which was
true.
Great.
Yes, yeah. He did. Yeah, so anyway, we're playing in a D&D 5e campaign setting of his, which has been so much fun because I have been playing an evil character. Now,
what?
A lawful evil character, which is very interesting because I am actually a barbarian. So if you're familiar with old D&D, which I'm not familiar from playing, but through researching, because I love to do a lot of research whenever I build characters. Back in older editions of D&D, barbarians used to have kind of like restrictions onto what alignments could play barbarians, and used to, you could not be lawful and play barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how it was in like Pathfinder, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you just said that, but I zoned out a bit.
No, I didn't. I didn't mention Pathfinder. I mentioned specifically older editions of D&D. But with 5e, there are no alignment restrictions whatsoever, which, you know, a lot of
I dig it. I really do dig it.
Yeah, the new wave thing nowadays is to kind of ignore alignment altogether and just, you know, go with what you feel. But it's very interesting because I play a lawful evil barbarian, in case I haven't mentioned it. But I like to interpret lawful very differently. Instead of like the regular rule of law, my character has an outlander background. Is a half-orc barbarian who was raised in an orc tribe. So
what's her name?
Undine. Yes. So I did base this character after Undine from Undertale, just looks-wise mostly. But yeah. So instead of interpreting by regular rules as written, you know, just regular rule of law. Lawful evil, or lawful in general. I like to interpret lawful as your own moral code, whatever that may be.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that. But it's definitely still very uncommon. Like most people see lawful and it's just like, oh, I don't want to follow the law. Like, what if the law is evil and stuff? And like tilt away from that. But I really like what you're doing with it.
Yeah, so my law is kind of like the strongest survive type of law, but still honorable combat type law. Because the last session we had, one of our player characters killed someone out of combat after they had already surrendered.
Someone, this wonderful homebrewed race of wolf people called the Fenrir, which I feel
Awu.
in the chat, which I feel like super bad about because like there was like he made us feel like really bad about this because like sure some of these Fenrir have like raided these human lands who were like totally digging into like their lands and stuff. Like we were definitely pulling Manifest Destiny and shit on them.
True.
But like we had seen these people and like literally every Fenrir that we have encountered up to this point was like out to get us and like wanted to just like kill everything. We had, like literally stopped some from like throwing meteors down on the world.
Oh fuck yeah.
And we just like ganked them, but like these were just like normal people.
Yeah, these were just regular ass Fenrir trying to live who'd broken off from that tribe, but we didn't know at the time, and we decided to surprise ambush and gank them. But we heard some like mewling and stuff, and like there were some like Fenrir pups and shit. And we had killed everyone except one.
Yeah, so we left like one dude alive,
But the thing is, there were two alive, but one of our player characters had killed one just because. And my character, even though they were lawful evil, was so mad that they started like fucking beating up this other player character because they're very much into the idea of honorable combat. Very much, if you surrender, you surrender. That's it.
Y'all, as soon as puppies were in there, I fucking lost my shit.
You did! Oh my god.
I felt so bad. So like in this campaign, I'm so glad I get to talk about this. Because like I did talk about Game Grumps for a little bit, who are like a great influence on me. I'm playing a character named Cordy Patrick. Which if you follow game theory and the game theorists and Matt Pat and stuff, you'll know that Cordy Patrick is the Twitter handle of Stephanie Patrick, who is Matt Pat's wife. And now baby mama, which congrats to them.
Yes, bitch.
Ollie Pat, I hope you're doing great. But I know you are because I follow your dad and stuff.
Your dad?
Your dad? He's not my dad. Throwback to the per restarter game.
Oh, fuck.
But like game theory and specifically game theory live and stuff is such an influence on like me as a creator. And like how I want to do things. I'm so glad that like they are out there doing their work, making their content, because like bitch. I love that. But I wanted to make a bard, but like more of a thespian sort of theater.
Yes.
That word, thespian. that's sort of kind of how we became friends, because like I knew that you were a thespian.
Yeah.
You were a thespian back in high school. So
yes,
was I.
I was. So okay. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit, but I promise we'll get back on track.
No, we won't.
So
we will.
The first class that Connor and I had together was this honors class, and the first project that we had in that honors class was called This I Believe Essays, which is based on like this podcast type thing.
Was it NPR? I don't think it was NPR.
I honestly cannot remember.
We really don't remember.
But we basically wrote essays about ourselves and like what we believed in. And mine was kind of written about how like I believe that theater had a power, like could give people like the power to do anything they want, basically, essentially. And you wrote a little bit about theater in yours. I
remember a lot. I don't remember what my This I Believe essay. Oh boy.
I think you touched a little bit on it.
I touched a lot. I know at one point I mentioned that I was a Christian.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I am a Christian. I do have like faith and stuff. if y'all didn't know that about me, here you go. I
woo Christian Cybrwulf. I woos for Christ in the chat.
But like, it was just I honestly think it was just like being accepting of other people, or like something cliche and
honestly,
ordinary like that.
I feel bad, but I don't remember. But I remember
it might have been just like being yourself or whatever.
I remember really resonating with that because I was like, yes, I want to be friends with him.
It was the sort of like cliche shit that would make people want to be friends with you.
Oh god, no, mine was very cliche too, but we both kind of connected. I mean, and you connected with the other friends I'd made up until that point.
Yeah.
But, you know...
Especially over a box of Cards Against Humanity.
Yes, but we really connected because we both shared the identity of being theater kids in high school. But, yeah, anyways, back to whatever we were originally talking about.
So I made a lore bard because I know MatPat enjoys finding lore, and so do I.
Meme theory.
Meme theory. Thanks for watching. No, like... I found MatPat in college, and like I loved his like conspiracy theory videos and stuff. Like I was just like, hey, look, I need to try a bard because I actually do need to like try every 5th edition class at some point.
Bards are the best.
Bards are pretty good.
Bards are the best.
Bards are pretty good. But like I made this character right after the finale of Critical Role Season 1.
Bitch, oh my god.
Where all of us recognized that Bard was the MVP. Spoilers for Critical Role.
I'm doing devil horns right now.
Kylen is doing devil horns right now, and is now sipping her mason jar. Because,
like I've said before, I could write an entire dissertation on how much I love the 5e Bard. But continue.
And every time I need to cry, I certainly do pull up Matt Colville's recap of the climax of Critical Role 1, and where he talks about the finale. Well, the finale is episode 114, but it's definitely like the part that makes everyone cry. The big finale. And he clips those so well and like edits them together where it's just like, it's gonna kick you in the gut. If you need a good video to make you cry, pull up that video after watching all of Campaign 1, spending 400 hours on that content.
Watch 115 episodes of Campaign 1 and then get back to me.
But yeah, I was just like, I need to pull up this character. And I made Cordy Patrick, who's like this theater actor, who sort of pulls from the Kingkiller Chronicles, because like there's the main character there, Kvothe, who's part of the Adema Rue traveling troupe of theater actors. Kylen sort of did the like overhead whoosh sort of thing.
Yeah, not familiar with this series.
A lot of people have been pointing out that like Caleb is sort of like Kvothe from that. But Patrick Rothfuss, who did make a Critical Role appearance,
is he the one that wrote? Oh,
Carrick.
Oh, fuck yeah, Patrick Rothfuss.
Yeah. He's also the founder of the World Builders charity.
Hell yeah.
That I won a Munchkin thing game from. It's like a mini game from.
Oh, bitch. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. And I helped build worlds, providing aid to like third world countries and stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So definitely check out that charity because that's pretty cool. And hey, you can win some like cool tabletop stuff from that. Like I know in that campaign that I was part of, like you could have won a Wormwood table because like those were just those just became a thing whenever I started donating to that. But yeah, I made this character Cordy Patrick, who's been doing a lot. Like he like most of my characters, he touches home a little bit because like his parents wanted him to be something that is not trying to diss my parents or anything because they did a really good job raising me. But he did not see eye to eye with his parents. And like in this particular campaign, like his father wanted him to be like a fighter or something, a real man or whatever. you and I had a really cool moment where like I asked you to like fuck him up, and then I held you.
Oh.
Like I was the only thing standing in between him and you tearing off his
I was
fucking
about
skull.
to fucking I was fucking about to hit him in the base of the skull with like the blunt end of my weapon. I think I missed. I don't know if that was your influence.
I held you.
Oh, you held me. Yeah.
I held person on you. And I was just like, goodbye. And walked away.
And scared the piss out of your dad.
It was great. I love that. I would never do that to my dad in real life because number one, I don't have magical powers or a large beefy friend who could overpower my father. And number two, because I do love my dad.
Yes.
He's great.
Don't have the amount of beef that your D&D character has with their dad.
Yeah. I just like touching on things that like I want to explore in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And like taking it to 12
Hell
or
yeah.
13.
Yeah.
That's something that's showing up in Indoor Adventures campaign where like I'm playing a like sort of this has been revealed. He was like bullied.
Oh.
I wasn't like bullied.
Mm-hmm.
I was teasing and everything because like I was like smart, unathletic, socially awkward kind of kid.
Yeah.
But like was like borderline abused.
Oof.
Shit.
Oof, registered trademark.
And so like he doesn't say a lot, and he like tries to hide his face and shit because like he's a big, like he definitely seemed like an outsider because he's a dragonborn, which is like really rare in this world and stuff. But I just love like taking like things that I've like sort of felt in my life and like exploring it to 100 in a D&D character because like that's pretty cathartic in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're running almost out of time. It is about 3 a.m. here.
I'm pretty drunk and pretty sleepy.
Yeah, I am almost done with this birthday gift, this thing of moonshine that I can't bring on the plane back.
So you gotta finish before you leave.
Right, I'm gonna try to finish it right now. Talk about something. Let's talk about it.
Oh my god, let's see how he does on that sip. Oh, beautiful. He really knows how to throw it back, ladies and gals and binary pals. Oh, I didn't mention men.
That's okay, you don't have to mention men. Any man babies will like yell in the comments. And
guys and gals and non-binary pals, he finished it.
Yeah, I legitimately did throw it back though. Oh, that was like, I know at like halfway through the episode I was going to say like, oh, I'm about halfway through this mason jar of moonshine.
Oh, no, I've finished. I'm very drunk. I probably need to go to bed.
Yeah, it's about 3 a.m. We have brunch plans in the morning.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so I think it's time for wrap-ups. Do we want to like throw ourselves where people can find us out on the internet?
Well, thankfully, there's been a very great graphic that we've been displaying this entire time.
Oh, this graphic is so beautiful.
It's so great that I made in PowerPoint with a font that I don't have the legal licenses to.
Throw up a flamingo.
Throw up that flamingo again.
Oh, bitch, shut up.
So I hope I really do throw up Careless Whisper for that. Otherwise, that little vocal thing is going to sound really out of place. Yeah, so you can find me at Cybrwulf1201 on the Twitters where I tweet about stuff, usually D&D or just like whatever shit post is coming to my brain at the moment. I know like whenever we went to break, I did tweet like, let's talk about it, so that'll age this really well.
Oh, Lord.
You can, I have a Twitch channel where this is probably going to premiere before I post it on YouTube.
Ooh, yes.
I'm going to try to do that. I have to figure out how to, like, edit videos. Because, like, I don't do that shit.
Oof.
Oof.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. And then we'll talk about it. Where can we find you, though?
Oh, yes, I am Kylen at KyleWithAnN. You can mostly find me on Twitter. That is the main place where I talk about D&D, any other RPG systems that I'm interested in, Critical Role, and then just shit posts about my daily life. I am semi-active on Twitch, although I don't do my own thing. I'm in Pro Restarter's channel, where you can see me on Saturdays, 1 to 4 Eastern Standard Time on Dragon Knights, although we're about to wrap that up. We're about at the halfway point.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
Yes. Oh, bitch.
Oh, no.
I'm also a mod in Connor's channel.
Woo!
So you can see me posting memes there. I also do a nice guest star appearance whenever he has Overwatch episodes.
Right. Eventually, we're going to figure out how to, like, get your video feed on there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We're really not.
Oh, God, no. I love looking like garbage when no one's watching. Like, now. All right. So I think this really wraps it up for our first episode of talking about it.
Yeah, let's talk about
We
it.
really did talk about it this
We
episode.
talked about it.
We talked about it a lot.
We were talking about it. You're perched very precariously on that chair.
What about now? I'm good now.
We've talked about it.
Alright, so thank you guys for joining us in our long fucking journey of talking about whatever random shit comes to our head.
If you have any suggestions about what we should talk about, please like, comment, and subscribe. Join our Discord server, Cybrwulf's Couch, where not a whole lot is going on right now. I think there's one post in there, and it's me talking about, hey, I posted things on the merch